What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is December the 9th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is really focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, had ADP weekly come in at 4,000 and change. Market doesn't seem to be liking that all that much because of that data, we're seeing a little bit of a pull lower. Nothing significant, mind you, but still, I think the market doesn't like that because it is positive. Last report of that was negative 13,000. So as I've mentioned many times in the past, we want negative data, not horrific, but just kind of like middle, right? And so we kind of like Goldilocks and the three bears for the most part. We just want it a little bit bad, nothing significant, not too great, which is absolutely weird. But nonetheless, later today we also do have Jolt numbers, and so that one will be a very big market mover. And on a side note, just in case you've missed my previous videos or just don't know, the reason why we went negative is to justify rate cuts. Probably not for tomorrow's meeting, but more so for January. Aside from that, though, you are seeing Dow, it is flat, S&P up 0.03, and then NASDAQ down 0.1. So it's nothing too crazy going on right now. Fear and greed index is under the fear category, so 31, meaning people's appetite for risk isn't really there on the table, and somewhat resemblant based on some of the stocks I'm going to be going over. SoFi is down, no press releases from them, no SEC filings or anything like that, so I think everyone's still waiting for some big news to come from SoFi as far as acquisitions. They did submit a 8K that was after hours yesterday. I already did a video talking about that. Interestingly enough, it did cause like a 1% push lower during after hours yesterday, even though it's nothing too crazy. But aside from that, though, shorts are returning about 42,000 shares, so that's somewhat optimistic during the pre-market, but 10.09% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 118 million shares. So shorts have actually started to increase a little bit. Yesterday, they did break their trend. I think they returned around 900,000 shares. But still, I feel like today it's going to come down to the Jolt numbers. That one's going to be the very big one. Aside from that, with it at 27.44, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. So this is more oriented towards day traders, swing traders. So if you want a dollar cost average or whatever, just kind of watch for these. So today, watch for 27.16 to hold, 26.93, and then 26.55 as support levels. 27.55, 27.93 will be the next strong target / resistance points. In my opinion, yes, the kind of data ADP so far isn't great, but Jolt numbers could easily change that, pushing this back to that $28 range. Or again, flip side, if it comes in not in line with expectation, you could see a push below that 27.16. That was actually the saving grace, I do believe, for yesterday, or it might have been for Friday. But nonetheless, moving on, NIO is down 1%. Nothing really crazy coming out from the company itself, no speculative topics. One thing that's been largely moving it is algorithmic trading. So NIO's had a nice recovery over the last couple of trading days. It's up 3.77%, but I think today the AI is wanting to bring it down. Right now, shorts are increasing about 35,000 shares. 11.2% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 155 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts have actually been doing completely their own thing. Like, they're in their own head. I think they're having a battle among themselves to try to determine what is coming next. Sometimes they double down for 2 days, 3 days, and then they return for 2-3 days. So I think they're just playing a very weird game. Couple points though to watch for with that 505 is right now between this pivot and this S1. So 507, ideally you want to see it close above that today. Flip side, 480 will be that next strong support. And if it does, for whatever reason, get there and touches that 473 range again, then this is where you could see the sentiment turn very negative, unfortunately. But moving on, Nvidia is getting a lot of volume. Not crazy price action though, so it is up 0.59%. During the overnight trading, I believe it was up like 2.5%. Main reason why they're moving higher is because of this right here. So Trump announces approval for Nvidia to sell H200 chips to China. So although it says that the US will take a 25% cut from the related chip exports. So I guess got to pay the piper. But nonetheless, I think the market was originally optimistic and now starting to push a little bit lower. But aside from that though, looking at shorts, they are returning about 31,000 shares. Less than 1% of the free float is being shorted, so that's not going to be a big deal at all. And then 228 million shares overall are being shorted. So obviously they're not going to be doing that big of that much damage today. With it right now at 186, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So key level to really watch for today is that 185. I'm looking at the 1-day chart on a side note. So 185, and then I think that 201 is definitely off the table for today. So moral of the story, just watch for this to hold, this pivot point. If not, then you could see some further consolidation. Moving on, ticker is ATMC. So they're up 505%. This is the most heavily traded stock during the pre-market, and reason being they put this out after hours yesterday. So it looks like they are going through. So the SPAC is kind of rolling out. Even though technically it shows here that the merger date was originally January 5th, 2024, and then amended to August 19th, 2024, but it looks like they just had their vote on December the 5th, and it looks like it was very much in favor. So let me know your general thoughts on that. I feel like this is a little bit overkill, but what do I know? Regarding shorts, that's not going to be a big deal. Most likely, if anything, during the trading day, they might be increasing a little bit, but 0.39% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 1,000 shares. So I think this one largely fell under the radar, and given how much it's actually been running up, it is currently above all the key fib levels. So just watch for hold numbers. So right now it is at $93. So just watch for like 90 and 85 and so forth. This one will be a very interesting one. So I wouldn't really recommend shorting this stock because I think just based on the requirements, it's a 50% requirement. So that one could definitely eat at your capital very fast. And then last but not least, ticker is SNTI. So it is up 20%, and there really hasn't been like anything crazy significant. So this is what came out. I kind of read through this. As I've mentioned, biotechs usually aren't my forte, but I kind of read through this. It doesn't seem anything overly special, but nonetheless, it is causing it to move higher. Shorts are increasing about 46,000 shares, so clearly they feel the same sentiment as me that it's not really justified. 3.13% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 304,000 shares overall being shorted. Right now with it at 292, looking at the classic, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 278 will be that key support you really want to watch for that to hold. And then 359 will be the next strong target / resistance. Even though I personally don't see this 22% green day being justified, sometimes the market just gains some good momentum, and it's one of those ones that you want to get on and make some good money on. So this one will be a good day trade in my opinion, and most likely throughout the day could touch this 359. But I think in order for that to happen, you really need some good jolt numbers. So that's coming out at 9 o'clock. So that should be, again, a pretty fun time. So let me know your general thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Stacked account. Just made it roughly around 1 month ago, and I put out some absolute bangers. I put out day trades, swing trades, many of which that have been like on point. So worthwhile to kind of pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.